Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's Metaworld News, the program where we bring you news about social virtual worlds and haptic technologies to do with virtual reality and stuff like that. And it's a welcome back to us, or at least I hope you are welcoming us back. Otherwise, we wouldn't bother, would we? Um, We've been away for a couple of weeks, and so we're back with headlines for basically 3 weeks, ending today, the first, yes, the first day of autumn, September. I mean, feels like autumn already,
Mm,
and yeah, well, I gather down there in Florida and stuff, you've even got hurricane weather.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's the fastest one you've ever had, 180 miles an hour or something.
Hmm.
Apparently they don't get any faster. There's no measurement for a faster one.
Right. There's no Category 6.
So I don't know what happens if it speeds up to 200 miles an hour or something. It can defy all logic and
That's right.
life will no longer exist or something. But
Think.
anyway, it could be worse. You could have Boris.
Right. Right.
Talk about hot air and wind. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of that. Right. Anyway, that's a uniquely Brit problem, or this is for the moment. Um, let's get on with it. As I say, this is for the week ending and a bit more. 1st of September, 2019. Just to make sure we're on track here. Only 3 months to go before we're in a nice round year. Right. Now, we've got a lot to catch up on, obviously, so I haven't preloaded the vast amount of pages we normally talk over. We're just going to sort of stick to some of the highlights as we go along. Um, Meanwhile, James here is broadcasting a little picture that's on my desktop rather than a link, just to keep you yeah, amused, enchanted, and all the other sort of things while we're talking. Um, and speaking of which, I am Mal Burns, and
Oh.
you can find me on Twitter, where the links are at twitter.com/malburns, or one word, Malburns. And indeed, there's another Twitter account, which I'm going to start with, in fact, twitter.com/metaworld news, again, squashed into one word. Joining me here, without his usual knobs, but still magically operating our cameras and stuff in thin air, is James Atloud, the noblest James.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not
and
sure
the
about
screenless. And
magical,
the,
but
yes, I know, magical and screenless and knobless. What
yeah.
more could you want?
I'd say barely adequate today.
Well, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is we'll get invaded here because we're not on a private sim. For
Right.
those of you wondering what on earth has happened to our regular TV studio, of course, which hasn't been around for the whole of August over on Metaworld on Open Sim, I have no idea. There doesn't seem to be any fault in our viewers. There doesn't seem to be any fault in the Open Sim installation or the server per se. But there seems to be some kind of weird. Microsoft Windows seems to have done something with their shell. In other words, what used to be their DOS command line, the thing that runs the server. And it's anybody's guess. I'm not going to accuse anybody at the moment, but I'm just taking I'm taking a very dim view of the fact that an operating system update can actually screw software that you've bought and used happily. uh, are they manufacturing an operating system, or are they manufacturing a weapon? I don't know. Anyway, it's worthy of talking about another week, so we haven't well, too busy, I guess.
Hmm.
Let's get going. So, Metaworld, sorry, twitter.com/Metaworld News. And let's start at the beginning. Right, our friend Maria Koroloff at Hypergrid Business posted on August the 16th, which is and 17th, in fact, since we were last on air. Just a very simple roundup post, as she often does. The land area in Open Simulator has now hit a record high. It never ceases to amaze me that land area in Open Sim just gets bigger and bigger and bigger endlessly year on year. I'm not actually sure. I think possibly that the land area of Open Sim is actually bigger than Second Life. That doesn't equate with actual users, but the high there. Let's see. Total number of active users on the public grids dropped by about 500 active users, which is very typical of the summer months. Um, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to mute the sound on my.
Yeah, I was here in Discord going
Yeah, there's something in boop boop bop bop
boop boop
and
boop.
hop hop, and I don't know. It's all a bit different from the last time we did this. Okay, I've done it now. Okay. Land area is up by over 5,000 standard region equivalents, up to 88,512, a record high. OpenSync registered near 4,000 new users this month, which brings the total of user base to 425,000. That's a fair old number. We'll be at 500,000 before you know it. The number of active users went down by 506 with a new total of 37,153. So not great impact. As usual, you can see if you follow this link to hypergridbusiness.com, you'll have to scan back to this particular entry. Um, but there aren't too many entries since. Maria loves her graphs and bar charts and stuff like that. You can see these stats do not include most of the grids running at our world's dream grid distribution of OpenSIM or private companies or school grids. Now, the Metaworld grid I was mentioning a second ago does actually run Outworlds. And Third Outworlds has reported that there are now more than 17,000. That's a lot of private self-hosted grids set up with their installer. Um, so anyway, you've got all the stuff. There's no such thing as a short post from Hypergrid Business. So they give you the top 25 there, and whoa, look, there's a whole load of stuff there for you to read. I'm
Oh
not going to
yeah,
read all that out.
give
I'm
us
not
all
going
the
to read
data.
all. I'm not going to read that out to you. But it's always worth keeping an eye on posts at Hypergrid Business, by the way, because sometimes you actually see a headline for a post, which is kind of the first topic, and you actually get around to reading the post, and you find it covers a whole load of stuff that is totally, unrelated to the actual headline of the article. So, it's almost top post and 20 others kind of thing. Anyway, moving on. Um, this is blog.mozvr.com. So that's blog.mozvr.com. This is the blog for Mozilla Hubs, basically Mozilla's virtual reality thing. And these are sort of little virtual world kind of things that you can alter yourself and put on your own web page. Um, and well, I won't go into it. It's not very realistic or anything, but it's quite fun. And they've released a whole new load of avatar customization and stuff like that. As you can see, the customization tends to be more of, how should I say, a paint job
Hmm.
of the same sort of thing. But so we thought that is relevant to
I'd
add
call
here.
I'd call those skins, not.
Yes, skins, yes, but yeah, but like you can't change the well, never mind. Yeah,
Hmm.
you can see what you're going to get, and yeah, you can have one with a bow tie and one with a
Camouflage.
soldier's thing, and yeah, all
Camouflage.
sorts of things.
Yep.
Yeah, camouflage. That's what it's called. Yeah. Right, and I'm about to camouflage that. Right, back to hypergrid business here, and we're much more up to date here. This is actually August 31st, which is yesterday, believe it or not.
Mm.
This currently our friends at Tangle Grid have a sort of regular expo area that is open to exhibits from all over the hypergrid, not just their Tangle Grid itself. And their latest expo, I guess you could say it's the autumn one really, is another Steam Expo. I always like the Steam Expos. And that has basically started. This is the sixth annual Steam Expo. It's live now and it will be running till only for a month. But September, yeah,
Hmm.
only a month by the look of it, until October the 1st. So you can get on the hypergrid by going to tanglegrid.net, colon 8002 is the port, and then colon expo space isle. And I'm quite sure if you just get as far as Tangle Grid, you'll be fine. There'll be landing um, uh, landmarks for you to TPs for you to click on, that sort of stuff. And yeah, a few little pictures there. Um, they did make a note that there's still room for more presenters, both inside the main exhibition hall and outside. So if you're interested in that,
Hmm.
yeah. Oh, a whole load of stuff here. Right, October 16th will be the Halloween Expo, and then the Winter Expo starts on December the 1st. So a little bit of advanced notice on that as well. Right, moving on. Hamlet Hall, New World Notes, frequently covering things other than Second Life. Um, this was published on Friday. Hamlet was just reporting on Sciencebase. They unveiled a free player region and a free new home for all users. And I'm a bit unclear. It says big Labor Day weekend announcement. I went in there and I replaced my old home for that one you see there. It's like the default new home for new users, but it's much bigger than the one they had before. And you can hold up to 200 guests at the same time in your region too. Um, once you, I think you get about 128 megabytes or something of storage space for the region, and this particular home actually uses up more than 50% of that. So, although mesh is fairly economical, I imagine there's a limit to how much you can bring in that allowance to whatever. One thing, having got space in Science Space already, one thing I did find, which wasn't obvious, was that when you log in, you will actually go to your old home and you need to delete your old home. It doesn't delete your inventory, just the land. And then when you press the home button again, it will take you to your new home. In other words, until you delete your own home, your old home, you don't get a new home.
Hmm.
Anyway, somebody did say that this was an offer for Labor Day weekend only. Other people say no, it's an announcement on Labor Day, but it's a permanent offer if you see what I mean. You can, of course, make regions bigger, and if you're willing to spend money, you can get even bigger regions and multiple regions and stuff. Um, I have no idea who that is. And by the way, the home does not come with the furniture. So,
Hmm.
word of warning, you'll have to buy your furniture. There's another picture of the new default home. Okay, you can find out more about that at nwn.blogs.com, which of course NWN is New World Notes. Or you can Google Science Space and click on their blog too, and I'm sure they'll tell you much the same thing. Right. Okay, this is Austin Tate's blog at the University of Edinburgh. The address you want is blog.inf.ed.ac.uk, which basically means Blog Info Education Academy or something UK. Yeah, you can find it on the Metaworld news feed, Twitter, of course. Um, Again, this is a blog posted yesterday, and it's just an article on Pangea roleplay in OpenSim on a grid known as Metropolis Grid, and a few Austin takes a load of pictures to accompany it, all very pretty looking. Right, so we got that out of the way. Right, okay, and now we're back to a default picture. I can't even tell you where that comes from, actually. I think it actually comes from Second Life. It's a picture I didn't take. It's just a picture I favorited, so to speak. Right, so the other source for news that I have, of course, is twitter.com/Malburns, Malburns, all one word. And I'm going to read down, you can't see me on the sidebar here, but I'm going to sort of read down starting today, read backwards, and then open anything I think is particularly important. VirtualRealityTimes.com reported 5 hours ago on a multiplayer sculpture app called Sculpt VR, which arrives on Oculus Quest very shortly. It's a sort of sculpting environment that people can use together. Um, there's a site called VR Voice. That's VRVOICE.co, and they do a review of a VR app called Notes on Blindness. I
Mm-hmm.
will quickly. Yeah, I don't think there's actually much here to see. Ah, yeah, there is sort of. Um, this is actually a writer, John Hull, went completely blind back in 1983, and he recorded an audio diary to document the process, and now they've turned that into a sort of virtual reality thing. And as you can see, there are things to be seen in this, but they are certainly not what we would normally see, if you see what I mean.
Oh.
It's an 8-part series. Chapter one is called "How Does It Feel to Be Blind?" And yeah, well, the idea is to take you through the experience of blindness, which can't be particularly pleasant, but it's probably highly educational. So yeah, go away. Right. Okay, let's open another one. Um, okay. Let's open this one. This is a site called screendaily.com. And basically, it's an article on the city of Venice in Italy and how it's embracing the VR sector, as it were. Um, where are we? Virtual reality is taking hold on the Lido as Venice, the only A-list festival which has its own VR competition, ramps up its VR offerings even further. So it's not so much the city of Venice; it's actually the Venice festival. And yeah, I think yeah, not much to look at here. But anyway, you'll find that at screendaily, or one word, .com. And that's just a couple of days ago, that article as well. Right. VR Focus, vrfocus.com, have an article. Well, it's actually an interview they did at the Gamescom, which has just happened. Somnium Space is a virtual investment. Um, Again, there's not much to show you. It's just an interview. Somnium Space is a blockchain-based virtual world that is finally beginning to get land and avatars and things that make it feel like a virtual world rather than a blockchain investment. I personally I don't. Well, yeah, if you look at the interview, and there are video components to this, so you can actually see the guy involved too. You basically find out what Somnium Space is all about, and how the blockchain is an important part of it. Okay, moving on. Virtual Reality Times. That's three words squashed into one.com. Virtualrealitytimes.com. Yesterday, they have an article about a UK startup called Scape 3D Mapping, and Scape 3D, sorry, and they're mapping 100 cities for an AR cloud infrastructure. I'm going to quickly load that if it's willing to pop up quick enough, simply because you can get the idea of the sort of thing they're doing from that illustration. Scape AR. Strictly speaking, this is all augmented reality, but I've got a feeling that at some point in the future we're going to find a collision between, a large-scale augmented reality and what they call mirror worlds, which is the idea of a virtual world that is a virtual replica of the real world and sort of sits alongside it as an additional layer. And that really is what augmented reality is, isn't it? A layer on top of the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can read all about that at Virtual Reality Times, squashed together as three words, squashed together as one.com. Right, let's move down my list here. You can't actually see at the side of my screen. Um, okay. Oh, yeah. I don't think there's anything to see here. This is a site called engadget.com, engadget.com. And it's actually an article emerging from the shadow of Gamergate. If especially of interest of women, I guess, sexploitation and everything else, um, which is where Gamergate got its name. This week there was a reckoning in the world of video games, and basically it's a whole load of things coming to a head, basically. And there's a summary here about sexual assault allegations and molestation, and basically all the things that unfortunately women seem to suffer in certain areas of enterprise, including Sunday games. Um, so, yep, and it goes into history and everything else. Good read that, yeah, good read here because it goes back over um, all sorts of stuff that's been happening, covers the Me Too movement and stuff like that. Um, so where are we? Emerging from the shadow of Gamergate. That's at engadget.com, engadget.com. Right. Uh, Okay, VRScout.com had an article about Marshmello, Kate Brown's Central Park performance, the first to be broadcast live on TV and in VR. Um, I'm going to open that. No, not, it doesn't work that way, does it? Right. I will open it, but I don't know. There's actually much here. I thought that had already happened. Oh, yeah, August 28th. So I've got a feeling. Yeah. This actually is out of date. It happened on Friday, so I thought I didn't need to open that. Right. Article. Another one on hypergrid business. This was only a day or so ago. What to expect from virtual reality in 2020. This article isn't Maria. It's somebody called Holly Ozanne. I don't know who she is, but quite a lot of discussion on there from all over the place. Right. VRFocus.com has an article on an app called These Sleepless Nights, which highlights America's eviction crisis using mixed reality. Eviction crisis basically is referring to a state of homelessness. Um, Again, endeavoring to use a VR experience. Most of it's what I call surround video. It's 360 video rather than actual VR for some of these things. Um, right. I'm going to open this just so that I can read out the link for you. Um, this is a new model for dementia care training combining telemedicine and VR. And the site you want for this one is M Health Intelligence. You'll see it written at the top here. It's basically M Health Intelligence. There's three words, including the letter squashed into one, .com. And the post was literally a couple of days back. These are all quite recent ones at the moment. Plenty of links there, though not a particularly long article. And as you can see, all hell is breaking loose from my pop-ups there. Go away! No, I'm alive on TV. I don't want pop-ups. Right. There's also Virtuality Doc. Oh, good. Traveling while black. Sorry. Um, this is a documentary on the experience of segregation in the United States in the Jim Crow era. Oh God, the only problem with doing it this way is every time a page opens, I've got to get rid of all the pop-ups that come with it. Anyway, this is a virtuality documentary from Academy Award-winning director Roger Ross Williams, debuted at Sundance Film Festival in January. You'll find this article at indiewire.com. That's INDIEWIRE. And yeah, more education there, really. Let's um, let's just get rid of some of these things. Because instead of closing them, I'm just opening them at the moment. It's
Hmm.
not quite what I planned. There we are. Got to remember to close them behind myself, haven't I? Right. That one doesn't want to close. Oh, brilliant. Right. Uh, Nothing like being live. Okay, moving on. Um, Google have released a real-time mobile hand tracking system to research and development community. You can find more about that at a road to VR.com. That's a road to VR, adtovr.com. So all one squashed word there. Um, VR Jam is to create a real-time XR simulation platform for business conferences. You can find a post about that at vrfocus.com. VR Focus, as in focusing your binoculars, whatever, all one word. Um, Also, at VR Focus, 3 days or so ago, an announcement that the Microsoft HoloLens 2 is to officially go on sale in September. Um, Interesting. I've just oh, I right. This is my fault. I got a couple of links in my feed that actually were conversations with. I wasn't noticing what I was doing. Philip Pullman and Great Dismal. Who's that? It's another author. So, right. Okay. Digital. Oops, sorry, I'm scrolling too fast. Digital immortality and virtual humans. Um, okay. This is academic-y document, really. There we go. Um, it is at link.springer.com. Um, I think you may have to go to springer.com and find it, although you can download a PDF. Um, when it says link springer.com, I think that would just take you to it needs the number, and I'm not going to read out the number. You never remember it anyway. Yeah, Springer is SPRINGER.com, and basically there's a quick introduction and stuff here on the page, but the whole document is actually something you need to download as a PDF. Mind you, there's an awful lot you can read here, even without the PDF. Um, okay, it covers an awful lot of stuff, so I'm not really going to go into that, but certainly a very worthwhile read if you're interested in this sort of stuff. Right, Data Unlimited had a new version of Trainingscapes out. Oh, that was a retweet anyway. Um, Here we are. Um, virtuality-news.net report that the global smart AR glasses market is poised for rapid growth. Um, doesn't say much more than that, actually. And venturebeat.com, that's venturebeat.com, have an article called Journalism Needs Help and Mixed Reality is Coming to the Rescue. Right. So we're about a week down my list here. So VRFocus.com have an article on hands-on with VR Geo Mini. Um, really easy. Okay, this is a haptic device. Whoever wrote this article thinks they're being clever. They've got really REAR-LY, but I think they're putting that instead of the word really. Oh God, journalists, really. Right, okay, going back from there, we're big fans of voicesofvr.com. It's almost impossible without using a lot of time to listen to all their podcasts sorry, every day. The last ones were actually about 6 days ago. And it was from what I can tell, it's number 806. But there were actually a whole load that came up online at the same time, and they're all sort of vaguely related. Interdisciplinary design at the intersection of theatre and architecture, plus volumetric capture experiments. Yeah, there's a good one. Frontiers of speculative design, minimalist design experiments in light and sound. Basically, all these are things that are tangential, really, to VR rather than VR itself. But the whole column filled, I've got from a number 806 right down to number 799. So Yeah, that's about 8 different podcasts that all came up 6 days ago. Um, virtual how VR is changing architecture education and digital campfires for social VR gatherings, and there's a lot of stuff here. But your best bet is just to go to voicesofvr.com and have a browse at the list of podcasts available there. If you're really interested, you can probably spend a whole day listening to them all in succession. Right, moving down beyond that, then we come to Wired.com, and most people will know that Wired.com or Wired magazine. Um, they have an article here called "Building Virtual Worlds is a New Form of Self-Expression," and oh, come on, that's going to do your eye in, isn't it? Look, it's got an avatar and a very 60s kind of thing. This is a game by Media Molecule. Okay, well, it tells you all about the guy building it. It seems to be more of an experience than an actual 3D world that we would recognize. But whether your brain is intact after coming out of that, I really don't know. Okay, um, don't really need to open that. Right. VR EVAL program helps survivors of human trafficking deal with trauma. This is an article you'll find at vrscout.com. That's VR and then Scout is in Boy Scout, but all one word, vrscout.com. Um, and there's a site called History View. That's history, which is what you'd expect it to be, and then View, which is also what you'd expect it to be. History View, VIEW, of course, .org. And it's just PR, really. History View VR is expanding its VR field trip program and tells you a bit about History View as well at the same site. VLScout.com, again, we're back to August the 25th here. Violin virtuoso Lindsay Sterling is to perform live in VR for the first time. I'm not going to bother opening that. If you're interested in that kind of thing, maybe of interest. But being as that was August the 25th, it may actually be an announcement about something that's already happened now. So bear in mind we're on links here that predate the last actual week. EdTech Magazine, that's EDTECH magazine, but all one word, edtechmagazine.com. Virtuality in the classroom, the future of immersive education with AR and VR. That was published on August 25th. Um, August 24th, Somnium Space enters a new blockchain partnership for up-and-coming land sales this October. This is an article at VR Focus, and I think I mentioned earlier the Somnium Space thing here. They're upping the visual side of Somnium Space now. I mean, when it started, it just seemed to be sign up and get involved in a blockchain account or something. But more about it at vrfocus.com. Um, okay, this right. We have a site here. It's the address is go. That's go dot shr dot lc dot. And oh, okay. Right, sorry, that must be one of those quick links that get you to it. The site I've actually ended up at here is Forbes, right? So it's actually Forbes.com, the article. Forbes, of course, you probably know that. Um, Basically, it's a little article about 5 companies that are using virtual reality to improve the lives of senior citizens. And I think I'll be needing this pretty soon, the way my brain is coping with reading out all this lot. Yes, definitely taxing exercise. Um, Although I'm not particularly keen on helmets, I've got to admit. Anyway, yeah, so topical article there, really. Actually, it doesn't. Oh, yes, it does. You can't see it. August the 21st was the date on this article. Right. Also, I think this is different. Yeah, this is more to do with the hardware and as a useful tool. This next post is at digitaltrends.com. And this is actually about a game that has been designed to help fight Alzheimer's. So similar subject in a way, but this is actually a game. Developed here, over here by a British studio called Glitches with two eyes in it. That is a funny name. And Alzheimer's research in the UK here. Uh, Groundbreaking movement for research serves as a model that can be used in other areas too. Da, 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 da. So read more about it at digitaltrends.com. Um, right, there are a few more to go down here. Um, James, any thoughts on what I've called out so far here? Actually,
No, other than I
okay,
think
so
2 weeks ago there was an article about immortality and virtual beings, and I think we talked about that a little bit. But that's a fascinating subject to me.
uh, okay.
Yep.
Right, August 21st. How far can I go here? Um, okay, Rain Dance 2019 brings the latest in VR storytelling to London. This was a post at uploadvr.com. Dreamglass Air AR glasses put a virtual TV on your face. This is a post at virtualitytimes.com. This is Virtuality Times. Three words squashed into one. And there's a little picture of the Dream Glass AR glasses. They don't. The idea is they put a TV in your face, and they don't look as bulky as some things. Presumably, if they show um, if they put a TV in front of your face, presumably it's a bit more an AR. It's more like VR. In other words, it's not a transparent screen showing through to the real world. Um, I think this is still crowdfunding at the moment. Um, yeah, but yeah, okay. Just have a look at that. So I'm just going to be silent for a couple of seconds, James. Don't worry about it.
Oh, all right. But I will worry about it because that's what I do. It's worry about things. Hmm.
Right, talk about being unprepared. You should not go on air without a glass of liquid beside you.
Ah, I see.
I was
Okay.
I was drying up there and beginning to panic. Right. Ah, okay, yeah, those look like the sort of thing I could possibly wear. Though I wouldn't want to wear them, like shades, but they don't look too bulky. Quite like them in a way. They've got an odd shape too, because if you look at when I'm wearing my little very small reading glasses, tell me people say you look like a professor. I
Hmm.
don't know what a professor is supposed to look like. It's a qualification, not a look, isn't it? But you know how they hang on the end of your nose, and there's sort of, you're looking down through them at what you're reading. Where if you can see the angle of the thing that goes behind the ears, there, the glasses, the lenses themselves, are sort of tilted, kind of downwards. So oh wait. I think this may have a mirror component where the image is projected onto the lenses, which may explain why they're a sort of angle. So well, you can't see my fingers, so forget it. We need AR for this. I can't demonstrate. I'm pointing my finger here instead of the mouse. Okay. Virtualitytimes.com. Three words in one there, where you'll find that article, and we've done that one already. Right, back to the list. Virtual reality and human services, boosting confidence in making tough decisions. Oh boy. Right. Yeah, that's a genuine link. This is a site called 1776. That is numbers, four numbers there. 1776.vc. And then this is in a subsection called Insights. And go away, pop up. Right, and yeah. It's virtuality in human services boosting social workers' confidence in making tough decisions. That's interesting. Child protection services and um, I can't even remember reading this. Still, it's on my list. If you're interested, as I say, 1776.vc, which is a very odd web address, but never mind. Okay, moving on here. Um, readwrite.com have an article, Virtuality Can Save Lives, and it isn't only for fun. And CBC .ca, which I believe is that California. CBC.
Canada, Canadian
Oh, it's
Broadcasting.
Canada, is
Yep.
it? Right. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, it doesn't seem to want to show everything here, does it? Let me just toggle the exclude from dark mode business. Ah, right. There we are. Um, do you know? I think there might be a London in Canada. Oh no, Plano City, London. I don't know. I remember reading CBC News London and Victoria Park. We have in London here. Um, yeah, there's got to. I'm Clement Street. We got one of those too. I don't think this is London, England. I think this is a London somewhere in Victoria, Canada. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's an example of a city actually adopting VR as part of its city planning. To change how we see the future, like allowing you to fly or stroll through a neighborhood before it's built and all that sort of stuff. We know it can be done, but it's nice to see an actual location, town, city, whatever, doing it. Right, enough of that. Um, there's a game engine called Crytek. They're not as well known as Unity or the other one. But they use a lot of games and virtual environments have been authored with the Crytek engine. They're planning to integrate Tesla suit haptic feedback into CryEngine itself. You can read about that at vrfocus.com. Um, the Unity authoring engine has a lot of this sort of stuff in it too. They're like plugins that are actually in the authoring environment to take advantage of particular sort of haptic devices. And in this case, the Tesla suit is if I remember, it's a kind of, well, let's have a quick glance. It might show it to us. Um, yeah, there it is. We've looked at that before. It's like a full body suit. So if you're authoring in the Crytek engine, you can actually create an environment that interacts directly with these suits. Beats wearing a helmet. Trust me to come up with that one. Right. Get real. This month's resources to care about VR. This is at blog.hubspot.com. That again is the Mozilla thing. I think it is. Hang on, let's just double check. I think it should be. Yeah, HubSpot. Um, oh, right. Get real. A monthly roundup of the biggest stories about virtual reality. So, um, yeah. Oh, general article there. So that's obviously something we'll probably be watching in future. Blog.hubspot.com. That's HUBSPOT.com. Uh, right. So of course, do remember I'm going back a bit here. We're about 2 weeks ago now. Um, when were we last on air, James? I can't remember. We did have one show in August, didn't we?
Yeah,
Uh,
we were off for two
uh,
weekends.
yeah, so it's been about 3 weeks from today. Yeah, so we were
Hmm.
still here at about the 7th, weren't we? Okay, so only a few more to go, I think, as I'm going back into the history bit here. Plunge into infinite VR space with T for God in the Oculus Quest. You can read about that at digitalbodies.net. Um, ABC News, this is the Australian ABC, Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Um, okay, I'll load this because it's a short link again. It's the Go SHR business, isn't it? A virtual reality project bringing lost theatres back to life. And including a theatre in Newcastle. Oh, yes, this is the UK actually, even though it's the Australian Broadcasting Company. Okay, the site you want here is abc.net.au. And this was actually posted August the 18th. August the 18th. So you've got to go back a bit to find out a bit of this. But uh, yeah, recreating the insides of historical theatres and stuff, presumably in order to do virtual performances. Not quite sure, but old theatres being brought back to life there. Right. Uh, okay. Virtual reality entertainment has been trialled on British Airways flights to New York. You can read about that in an article at vrfocus.com. That's an article published August 15th. Also on August 15th, we have Liquid Mask VR. A new VR face mask lets you feel like you're underwater. I'm going to load that if it shows up. I think there is a picture of the mask here, if I remember rightly. Um, okay, it looks like another old helmet, doesn't it? But yeah, actually, you can tell from this picture here. I think that it's a helmet with an added-on waterproof gadget. That's, what can I say, really? Anyway, yeah, find out about Virtual
Hmm.
Reality Times, three words squashed together.com for this one. Um, Facebook, you might have heard of this company. They've patented, help, uh, Facebook patents reveal deep research on true haptic VR gloves. Yep. So Facebook is trying to take over the glove market amongst. Well, they're trying to take over the whole world, aren't they? So let's face it. You can find out more about that at uploadvr.com. And Immersed have debuted a public VR co-working space designed for remote collaboration, and that is covered here at vrscout.com. Um, Not particularly interesting to look at, as you could probably see. And oh dear, what's this VR chat?
Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes, oh, here's one that's actually moving. That must be a Giphy. Right, okay, enough of that, enough of that.
I don't think that's
If it
VR
moves,
chat
if
though.
it moves, if it moves, click it.
Hmm.
Right. No Man's Sky VR interview. Sean Murray on the past, present, and future. This is the guy behind No Man's Sky, and which it's available as a 2D sort of screen thing, but it's also available in VR headset style too. Basically, an interview with him at uploadvr.com. All one word there, uploadvr.com, and that was August the 13th. Readwrite.com. Yes, again, we had another one from them. Readwrite, or one word.com. Augmented reality, transforming training with immersive experiences. Um, um, those of you who are into the thing called Minecraft, I know a lot of educators who are interested, but Engadget, engadget.com, have a report that Minecraft won't be getting that huge graphics overhaul after all. I'm not quite sure what all that was about. I think maybe Minecraft is sort of available in VR or something, but um, I think maybe there's some talk of getting a graphics overhaul so it didn't look so much like Lego. But I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it's not happening. So that in itself is apparently news. Right, voicesofvr.com. Yes, again, this is number 799, while the older one is now August the 12th. Museum of Other Realities, an art museum for virtuality. And again, you'll find that at voicesofvr.com. Um, back in August 12th. Right. And okay, there's a few more of those coming up in a second, but there's a free virtual reality theatre which is going to be launching in Battersea in London. Um, I better open this because again it's another short link. This is actually the Evening Standard in the UK, London newspaper, standard.co.uk, and this article is on the 12th of August, and basically it's a theatre you can go to and using VR. And actually, it doesn't really tell you that much about this, although it does give you links to follow. Right, blow out your knee. Uh, blown out your knee. Hope your surgeon's got a VR headset. Well, I'm not going to click. That's another short link, but I'm not going to click on it. It's probably much what we got already. Hospitals are now using VR to reduce pain during childbirth. You can read about that at vrscout.com. Um, how virtual reality is being used for workplace training to create greater empathy. This is VR 360, so you can find this at virtualreality-news.net. And then, as I said, Voices of VR, there was another chunk of them. These were all dated about August the 12th, so I don't think we have covered these previously because it's another chunk um, basically interviews with artists working in VR. 790, 791 through to, oh God, there's about a dozen of them here. Um, you'd actually have to go to voicesofvr.com and look for 790, number 796 onwards. Let me see. Okay, oh yeah, the previous one, 799, I mentioned, Museum of Other Realities, an art museum for virtual reality. That was an interview with the museum. These other interviews, the whole block of them were predate that by a couple of days. These are actually the interviews with a whole load of artists taking part in that. Right. Now, you would not know it, ladies and gentlemen, but while you're watching us here, not only is James twiddling away with camera positions and stuff and on my screencast, but we're recording our audio for this show in a program, an app called Discord. Discord is probably preferable to Skype in that it's independent of whatever. It's also got things in it that are really designed for gamers as well. Um, and you can use it like Skype, but you can also be part of various channels, server groups for background chat and everything else. Well, while we're away, Discord have launched another little thing called Go Live, which lets gamers or virtual worlders, I suppose, stream up to 10 people. Now, obviously, if you're doing a TV program and you want 100 people, up to 10 people is not really helping. But the idea is, if you're in Discord and you're using a compatible game, you can actually you could have a Discord chat with say about 10 people, and you could actually stream the game you're in across Discord to them. So maybe only one person would need to be in the game, and the other 10 could be watching what was kind of going on. So um, very much a little add-on people for users of the games. So it's not really what I would call an add-on that's of any great use for broadcasting, but you get the idea. So that's a new thing they brought into Discord. Now, that was dated August the 9th, which I think is probably about as far back as I need to go. Um, Exploring the past, present, and future of location based virtuality. That's an article at medium.com. That was on August the 10th. Um, a report on immersive experiences in education again, this was at medium.com, which was August 10th. Uh, you can now practice firing somebody in virtuality. Oh, God help us. This is
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
MIT Technology Review on August the 11th. And it looks to me like I think we've covered everything. I think we have covered everything we need to cover, put it that way. He says closing all the tabs. Though obviously, over the course of 3 whole weeks, we've been away for 2 weeks, and then we got to add the week, the extra week for the days. There's obviously been a bit more news than what I've given you there, but I think that sort of pretty much covers it for now. So, James, what did you think?
What do I think? Wow.
Oh, any thoughts on that, or are you just rather being on a beach in Thailand or somewhere?
No, I actually didn't make it to any beaches in Thailand. I was in
Oh,
the
didn't you?
interior.
Oh,
No, just in the
oh,
interior.
okay.
A very industrial city in northeast Thailand to visit family.
Oh,
So that was a good time.
okay.
It was my first time in the
Yeah,
East.
yeah.
Us being a little homeless here in virtual reality. Um, I also am a little bit homeless. I'm moving to a new location, but webcasting today from my parents' dining room. So you just never
Ah,
know what you see when you're looking at virtual characters. You have no idea where the real
yeah.
people are and what they're
Well,
doing.
exactly. They could be anywhere. Yeah.
Right,
Well,
right.
I mean, in the course of a few weeks, you'll be. Well, you didn't broadcast in Thailand, obviously, but
No, no.
you've been in one house, now you're in temporary accommodation, and then in a week or two, hopefully, you'll be broadcasting from your new house. So,
Yeah, yep.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and interesting
Nobody would know
comment
this.
about Thailand. I have a Google Pixel phone and the Google
Oh,
Fi service, and I had very fast cellular service all throughout Thailand. I was
really?
amazed. So, in theory, I think I might have been able to use my phone as a hotspot and stream from across the world.
Well, well, well.
12 hours time difference, so just exactly the opposite side of
It's
the globe.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're in the other, basically in the other direction for
yeah,
me normally.
right, right.
That is, I mean, there is incredibly high speed Wi-Fi and broadband communications. So, I mean, I think the fastest is Singapore. They're not the first places you would think of. Um, and I think
Right,
there's
right.
geographic locations where, they're looking towards the future, they've, I guess there's been public money put into infrastructure for these things to help that particular a given region.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I think it's Facebook who the vast majority of their primary servers are all underground in Iceland. And of course, Iceland has got the climate to keep server farms cool, but I believe because it's got natural electrical power sources, hydroelectrics and stuff like that. So the
Hmm.
actual electricity to run the things there is cheap, you know. And it's not surprising that I imagine a country like Iceland would be one of the first to put major investment into that infrastructure, because it's going to pay off for them in the future. It's the last place you want a server farm at the moment is the Great Canadian Grid server farm is in Florida. And
Yeah, right.
needless to say, that is now shutting down for a few days, just in case.
Mm.
I think that will affect DigiWorlds, which is another open sim
Oh,
thing. I
sure,
think they're
right.
on the same servers, and why in a world where the whole planet is going to erupt shortly, you will want to put these servers underground where they're safe, and
Hmm.
preferably somewhere cold where, I mean, where the Arctic will be cold for long. I don't know, but
Right.
um, that it can't be that hard. I mean, I was seeing. I don't know about territorial issues, but I think. There was some joke while you were away about the American, dare I call it, a president, um, wanting to buy Greenland,
Purchase Greenland. Yep.
which apparently I thought how can you purchase a country, but actually apparently it is Norwegian or something.
That's
Um,
Danish.
but Danish, that's it.
Right.
Sorry, yeah. But I was looking at a map, and it's like a map taken from the North Pole, looking down. So you have no, you're just seeing.
Hmm.
It's very strange because there's no everywhere is looking south. If you
Polar
see what I mean
projection. Right. Right.
from the center, um, and it was showing areas that were ice that are now suddenly turned into land, and where shipping lanes have now opened up, where barely 10 years ago it was
Hmm.
covered in ice, but it's now been taken over by shipping. And I imagine the industrial use of those channels will increase the heat and melt the ice more, of
And
course.
another
But
resort. They're probably a good place for a resort in Greenland.
oh yeah, well that this is the thing. I mean, I think everything is covered by territorial ownership. But I mean, this is, imagine you're in the middle of the Atlantic and there's suddenly a volcanic eruption, and then you turn around and there's a new big island.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every country would be racing to put their flag on it. Claiming it.
Right.
A bit like we've got British here. We've got Easter Island, which is somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic. It's
Mm-hmm.
just not much used to anything except as a staging post on traveling military and stuff. But it's there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if I mean, I can't say global warming is a good thing. I mean, you can't. But I mean, if melting ice is now revealing land there, there probably are a lot of opportunities, to build in those cold climates, for server farms and things like that. Um, yeah, I suppose there must be a worry that as global warming takes place, if the ice melts to reveal land, but of course as sea levels rise, we might lose the land again. I don't know how
Right.
it,
Right.
it's curious as to how it all works.
It's all
Anyway,
interconnected.
anyway,
Right.
yes, exactly. This is the rabbit hole portion of the show. Well,
Yep.
I've forgotten that.
Deep rabbit
Ladies and
hole.
gentlemen,
Right.
welcome back to the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm. Down we go.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're actually done. Unless you've got any more thoughts, James.
No.
But at least we've achieved the three-weekly roundup, and next
Real
week maybe
the
I'll be able to bring you a few more links with
right.
pictures and stuff, and less to get through in one show, so to speak.
Yep.
Do keep us informed of any news that you want us to cover, particularly social virtual worlds, anything happening here where we are at the moment, high fidelity or in science space or indeed in OpenSim. So long as they're sort of independent and whatever, we can't cover Second Life. There's just too much and not particularly interesting for that matter. But yeah, let us know. Let us know if there's anything we can usefully cover for you there. So, with that, I've forgotten all the routines. We have our little routines here, don't we? Basically, I'm going to tell you that it's goodbye from him.
Oh, and I'll switch over here and I'll say it's goodbye from him.
You see, we've remembered.
Yep.
It's goodbye from the two of us. We two are one. It's goodbye until same time, possibly the same place next week. And have a good one, folks. Bye for now.